Good morning, children. Today we will be starting the sixth poem, No Men Are Foreign, written by James Craikup. Now, before I start with the line to line explanation, let me just give you a short detail about the poem. That is, what is the main idea behind writing this poem. No men are foreign. Foreign means a country other than ours. So here the poet is telling us that no men means the people living in other country are not strangers. We all are human beings. God has made us as human beings. So we all are one. Now in this poem, No Men Are Foreign, this poem is about the concept of global brotherhood. Here, the poet is promoting brotherhood. Brotherhood means to have peace with the people who is living with us. Okay, bhaichara, what is called in Hindi. And so here he is promoting by this writing this poem. He wants that we should not discriminate or we should not have any kind of discrimination in our mind, because God has made each and every person equal, and so he is trying to promote brotherhood here. So let us now move to line explanation of the poem. Remember, no men are strange, no countries foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. Like us, the land our brothers walk upon. Is earth like this in which we all shall lie? Now, in this poem, the the poet is here telling us that we should always keep in mind that no person is strange to us. Strange means any unknown person. So no person is strange to us. We all are same and we all are equal. There is nothing like a person being strange, or there is nothing like a country being foreign. Beneath all uniforms. Now, uniform means the dress code which is given to the army or any kind of dress code. But here, uniform does not indicate or it does not mean any dress code. Here, uniform means irrespective of the caste, color, creed, or any kind of discrimination which the people make. So beneath these all uniform, beneath all the country people, beneath all the people who are in different dressing sense, who are of different religion, who are of different culture, who are of different caste, creed, besides these, he's saying that we all are a single body, means we all are human beings. So here he is promoting brotherhood. The poet is trying to tell that we should not see the color, creed, caste, religion of any person. Beneath this, below the caste, below the religion, below the country, if you move all these things, we all are one, a single body. That is, we all are human beings, and that is the main thing what we should keep in mind. Like us, the land and our brothers walk upon. So here he's saying that as we walk upon the land, as we uh, breathe on this earth, as we utilize this earth, in the same way, the our brothers, who are our brothers, the people who are living in different countries are our brothers. The people who are living with us in our same countries are brothers. So he says that like us, how we walk on the land, in the same way they too walk on the land. Is earth like this in which we all shall lie? And after that, as we are lie on the earth, after that we are buried in the earth, we are burnt on the earth. In the same way, the other country people also are, after that they lie in this earth. We live on this earth together, and we die also on this earth together. So where is the difference, is saying? The poet is telling us when the nature has not made any difference. We walk on the same earth, after that we lie on the same earth. So every people or every person in this country or in the other country or in different parts of the world also live on this earth and they die on this earth only. So he says that there is no difference. We all are one and we all are human being. We share common land. We all walk. We all do our respective works. We all live and survive, and at the end of our life we shall lie on the same earth. So there is no difference between us and between the other country people or between the people who are living in different parts of the world. Now in the next stanza also he will be telling us, in each stanza he will be giving us more and more examples which will show that how we all are equal and why we are not different and why we should not discriminate. Yes, so let's move on to the next stanza. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvest, by war's long winter starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read, a labor not different from ours. Now, in the first line, they too, who is they here? Means the other people who are living in our country as well as in the other country. They too are aware, means they too have knowledge about the sun, air, and water. They too utilize the sun, air, and water. Means when the nature has not shown any discrimination, when the sun shines, it shines equally on Indian, on Pakistanis, on Japanese, on Germany's, everyone. When the wind, we all breathe the same air, we all drink water to quench our thirst. So when the nature has not shown any discrimination, then why do we people create this discrimination? The poet is wanting to tell us. They are fed by peaceful harvest. They too eat food when they feel hungry. They don't eat anything else when they feel hungry. They too are fed by the harvest means the production by the fields. So they too eat the things which are produced from the fields only. They too quench their hunger by food only. By war's long winter starve, and they too starve during the winter, and when wars occur, they too are, their lives are also destroyed, and their country or their place also face starvation. So war has equal effect on all the people living in the world. It doesn't mean that when war occurs in India, the people are happy, and when war occurs in other part of the world, the people lives are destroyed. No, the war occurs in both the places and causes destruction in both the places equally. And he says so war causes starvation, and during winter also there is starvation in most part of the world. Because of winter the production is not proper, and so there is lot of starvation in most places. And so he says that nature has not shown any discrimination. All the people suffer equally, all the people eat food, and so why we are discriminating? Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read, a labor not different from our own. They too have hands to work. Their labor means their hard work. They too do hard work to survive in this world, and we too do hard work to survive in this world. So he is asking us that where is the difference then? They too have to struggle hard for their survival, and we also have to struggle hard for our survival. In their lines we read, they too use language for communication. They too communicate to share their feelings. In the same way, we also share our feelings by a communication. So many examples the poet is giving here, and he's saying that then where does this difference lies? Where is this strangeness? Where are the foreigners? Everyone, we all are similar in every respect. He has given above lot of examples, and he say that we all are similar in all respect. Therefore the poet is stressing that there is nothing as to be called as strangers or to be called as foreign. When the nature has not shown any discrimination, we people also should not show any kind of discrimination. So let us now move on to the poetic devices which is used here. Let us see in the first stanza. First, before moving on to poetic devices, I would like to discuss about the rhyming scheme. You can see the last word foreign, breeze, upon, lies. So these four words are not rhyming with each other. So we can say that there is no rhyming scheme here. The poem is written in free verse, means there is no rhyming scheme. Now let's move on to the literary device which is used here. See the second line. Body breathes. The sound of alphabet B is repeated. Means it is alliteration. Another poetic device which is used here is beneath or uniform, a single body breathes. Now uniform, as I was explaining, I told you uniform actually means the dress code which army people or any kind of organization or institution wears, like you wear when you go to school, that is your uniform. But your uniform does not mean a dress code. Your uniform is referring to the caste, culture, creed, religion, community. For that's why it is a metaphor. It is comparing without the usage of like or as. So this line is a metaphor here. Now remember, this word is repeated again and again. The poet is trying to focus on this word. He's trying to tell us that we should keep this in mind, remember this. And so not only this word, but this, I think this full line is repeating in one more stanza, that is in the fifth stanza. Remember, no men are strange and no country is foreign. So this line is repeated once or twice, and for that's why the poetic device used here is repetition. So I hope children you have understood this till here. Now come to the next stanza. In the next stanza, the second line, by was long winter starved. Metaphor. Now why this is metaphor? Because the war is compared to winter. In most of the part of the world during winter season, the production is not so much of food, and for that's why the poet is saying that the people, they starve a little there. And for that's why he is comparing that same condition prevails during war time also. When war occur, many people go through destruction and starvation, and for that's why these two conditions are compared, and that's why this line is a metaphor. So I hope children you all have understood this. Write the summary. In the next class I will be discussing the next stanzas.